Hello, this is a tutorial explaining the process of upgrading a ProBuilder project to a newer version of ProBuilder, which, as of Unity 5's release, has changed from in the past, where you would previously upgrade in place, leaving your ProBuilder project as is and just bringing in the new package. Now you have to delete the folder prior to bringing in the new ProBuilder package, which, if you've done this before, you probably know will lose your script references. So to fix that, we've come up with a new way of upgrading a project that stores that data in another script and allows you to upgrade without losing any of that data. So I have here a project built in ProBuilder 2.3, open in Unity 5, that I'm going to upgrade to the newest version of ProBuilder. So the first thing to do is bring in the ProBuilder upgrade script. The first thing to do is back up your project. That really should be first no matter what. If you're not using version control, make sure you have a backup of your project somewhere else on the drive, so that in the event that things do go wrong, you have something to fall back on. And if they do go wrong, feel free to drop by the forums and let us know what happened. The more we know about what's going wrong, the better we can address it, though hopefully nothing will go wrong. And actually, this is a pretty foolproof system. I'm pretty excited to have this out. Upgrades have been a pain for a while. So this is a much needed step, I think, in the right direction. Anyways, moving on. So this is the project. You can see there's some graphical errors. ProBuilder 2.3 isn't compatible with Unity 5, so you get these spotchy patches where the mesh didn't quite build itself right. So that's why, for this project at least, we're going to upgrade to the new version of ProBuilder. Anyways, back to what I was saying a few minutes ago. Bring in the ProBuilder Upgrade Kit package. You can find this on the internet. There'll be a link in the summary of the video, as well as other places, I'm sure. So you'll notice it comes in as its own kit. It's a different folder than the ProBuilder folder, and this is important. It needs to be on its own out here. Don't put it in your ProBuilder folder. Don't put it in the Procore folder. Just leave it where it is. And after the upgrade process is complete, you can delete it. It's just there as a bridge between ProBuilder versions. Okay, so now that we have this in our project, open up a scene and run the prepare scene for upgrade script, which is in Tools, ProBuilder, Upgrade, Prepare Scene for Upgrade. It will prompt us asking if we want to proceed, which we do, of course. So you see it goes through your project and it grabs all of the objects in that scene view that have a ProBuilder component, and it saves them to a new component called PB Serialized Component. And you'll notice it removes the other ProBuilder project or ProBuilder objects in that scene. So instead of having the familiar green button that says Open ProBuilder, you should have just a PB Serialized Component that has your data here, stored nice and safely in a string that won't go anywhere when you delete ProBuilder from your project, which you'll have to do in a minute. So now it's important that you run this script for each scene in your project. So that script does not take care of these objects over here because they're in a different scene. So same process, run it through your scene, save it. Your data is now serialized over here in a new component that does not live in the ProBuilder folder. Okay, so I only have 2 scenes in my project. I'm done running through serializing them. Now it's time to delete the ProBuilder folder. Okay, so you're going to get some errors. That's expected. There's a lot of things that depend on ProBuilder scripts. But that doesn't particularly matter because we're going to bring ProBuilder in a second anyways. So open up the asset store or use user toolbox if that's where you prefer to get your downloads. As you can see, I've already downloaded the new version of ProBuilder. Import. One thing that's good to note, if you're having trouble with the first part, serializing your data, make sure that you don't have any errors in the console prior to running those scripts. That will interfere with how this upgrade process works. Make sure you have a clean console before you're doing anything upgrade-wise. Okay, so it brought in ProBuilder. It shows us the changelog, which this is a patch release, nothing too tremendously exciting. And our objects are still here, looking broken. That's okay, because we still need to unserialize that data. So just go into ProBuilder, upgrade, reattach ProBuilder scripts. It runs through the project. Now here, this is a great example of something that I should have mentioned in the first place. You'll notice it says 34 out of 34 objects, and there are pretty clearly 3 objects in this scene. And no, that's not ProBuilder doing math wrong. It is ProBuilder finding all of the prefab objects that are living in the project view and deserializing them as well. So if it didn't do that, your prefabs would not make the transition seamlessly. So on your first scene, it's going to go ahead and find a bunch of the prefabs that you're using and save those too. So if you're curious as to why those numbers don't match up, that's why. Okay, and we'll save the scene. And there you go. You see the models popped back into the correct meshing. ProBuilder 2.4 and up are all ProBuilder 5 or Unity 5 compatible. And let's run on the bigger scene. So you can see our serialized component data lives on. And once that's done, it's going to go ahead and remove the PB serialized component data from the object. So you've got, just like you had it before, you can open up ProBuilder, and all these objects are editable once more. So now once you run through all of this in all of your scenes, and again, it's important to make sure that you run through all of your scenes and deserialize them. Once you've done that, you are free to delete the ProBuilder upgrade kit. It can stay in your project if you want, but I usually delete it because it is no longer necessary. Just a note, if you delete that and save your project and exit and still have a scene that has those PB serialized components on them, you're going to lose that data. So it's really important that you have that existing in your project as long as there are serialized components in your project somewhere. But there you go. That's the general outline, the gist of things, if you will. If you have problems with this or compliments, but more likely problems, feel free to drop by the forums. I'm happy to help. If you have a backup, I will happily run through the upgrade process with you and walk you through it if you're having trouble. So yeah, good luck, happy building. Look forward to seeing you all in the forums and what you make.